is what
Do you use chum to mean friend ever?
I think it's an old
Speak
time.
chum and enter.
That was going to be the password to the IGN store.
Don't tell people that.
Well, that's a good point.
All right.
But this is true. The reason I didn't do it is because what he says in the movie is not what he says in the book.
Yeah.
And then I was worried about
I
upsetting one
noticed
group
that.
or the other.
It's like
Ugh. Yeah, you don't want-
it's
It's-
kind of
it's
like
melon.
sounds the same, but it's melon.
Yep, in the book. And so I had to use a different password.
That's good. Speak chum and enter.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hadfield. And joining me this week is Justin Davis, Sam Claiborne,
Hi.
and Janet Garcia is here.
Hey.
We have a great show for you this week. It's a little bit of a slower news week, but that just means we're going to be able to get through more of your emails this week. But first, one interesting news bit that we got this week was that Sony has patented an AI tool to potentially suggest microtransactions.
Great.
I always have a hard time saying that word, microtransactions, should you find yourself stuck in a game.
Is that the only chink in your host armor that you just can't say that word?
It's because the word is so repulsive. Microtransactions. Sometimes it sounds like I'm saying microtransactions.
So the reason
Had that a lot in second grade.
We had a IGN Deals had a meeting, a brainstorm one time to come up with a mascot. We wanted to have a little mascot for Deals. And one of them was a little man named Michael Transactions.
That's cute. Michael.
We eventually landed on a much better example that I hope you'll see before the end of the year.
Why don't you just tell people what it is?
Can't just be Seth Macy? Can't he just
It's
be the
Deals
mascot?
the dinosaur.
No, it is.
He's like, nope, that's better.
Okay.
So this thing is funny because it has a person in a drawing watching a TV, and the TV says "buy this" on it.
Yeah.
But
As part of this is a schematic drawing that's part of the patent application.
Big fan of patent drawings.
Oh, yeah.
But the idea is that
Actually, Sony has a lot of great ones, actually.
if you're playing a game and it recognizes that you're having an issue, you could it could give you something to help with that other players used.
Yes.
And the way that they're patenting, just because you patent things that can make you money, in this scenario doesn't mean it's going to happen by any stretch of the imagination. They're saying that you can also pay a small amount of money to get that thing. So it's like maybe you unlock a piece of equipment or an XP boost or something right there that's just a big bomb or something.
you can just buy a big bomb.
Yeah. Which would work in Zelda.
We noticed it's taking you a long time to level up. Like, would you like to buy this XP booster?
Well, Assassin's Creed had something like that kind of built into the game. So this would, I imagine, just be kind of
there's
prompting you to that.
AI that's like...
This sounds like
But in that, exactly. It's combined with a get good message.
Yeah, it feels like a slightly more insulting version of when Nintendo's like, don't you want to stop now?
Oh, I get so
Are you
fucking
done
mad
yet?
when they're like, "Oh, do you want to turn on the baby mode? We notice it." I'm like, "Get the
Oh, there's that
outta
too. You're
here."
right.
Yeah.
You're right. They do already have that.
But I think Janet was meaning like when they're like, you've been playing for a while. Would you like to take a break?
No, that doesn't bother.
But that one's there too. Well, the take a break one makes me feel guilty.
The thing now, I get it all the time. It's like you can actually change the difficulty in this.
Yeah, I know.
Why is everybody doing that?
I
And
know.
Nintendo used to be like, if you hit this ? You turn into Luigi,
Yeah.
and then you're invincible.
Yeah, do you want to just fly over the level? I always hate that because I'm like, I wish I could tell the game what I'm trying to do. I'm like, it's not that I can't beat the level. I just can't beat it under the parameters that I decided I want to beat it at.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is why I
going
keep
to
dying.
kill every Goomba, Nintendo.
I'm like, look,
Can you give me
don't
something
know,
to do that?
you don't know what run I'm on, okay? This isn't just your regular.
You don't know what run I'm on.
I also think that the use of AI in this patent,
a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, knowing nothing about it, but it feels a little grandiose and suspect in my view.
Like a computer's like, this
Well,
person's
but-
dying a lot. You don't need a computer to do that. You just need the number of times they died and say,
Yes.
it's over 10.
It reminds me of how like everything is just in the cloud now.
Yeah,
It's just become like AI and
Well, it sounds like Sony's experimenting with like a Siri or Alexa type voice activated help, maybe to use in PlayStation 5. So
thanks,
like,
I hate it.
You're struggling with beat this boss. You're like, PlayStation, how do I beat this boss?
Yeah.
The AI pops up and it's like, well, 80% of other players were able to beat it if they bought this this damage boost. Would you like to purchase now? Yeah, that's
The thing that was upsetting for people with Assassin's Creed is that XP was a little bit, it took a long time to get anyway. So it's like, paying a little bit of extra for XP felt really bad because it actually made the game more fun.
Well,
just balance your game differently.
I thought that and I really love Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I thought that was a fake controversy that wasn't real and
It
was
took me
mostly
forever to level up.
See, but I think that game felt like a completely normal RPG. Like I played the game normally and I leveled up and unlocked stuff and beat it and like.
But you could have done that twice as fast.
But I'm just saying, like.
I just want to be done with my games.
There were dozens and dozens of headlines and YouTube videos and Twitter threads and everything. And like, if you didn't play that game, you would think that there was something like catastrophically wrong with it. And I played it, and it felt like a completely normal RPG.
It wasn't broken.
And I'm like,
that.
Ubisoft has done some decisions that I don't agree with in the past, but they got raked over the coals for that one. And like, I didn't necessarily think that one was.
Yeah, I didn't actually play that game, so I can't speak towards how it would feel to play it. But I think the issue kind of with that is you could have just built that into one of the settings for the game. Like it could have just been the same way you have different difficulty settings that might make bosses have less HP or you have more HP. Like there could have easily been a setting that just had you gain XP more quickly. So the fact that it was behind a paywall, I think, is what rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah,
because it's already a feature there.
But like battle passes could be free too.
Well, yeah, theoretically, everything could be free. I'm not saying that. I don't think it's necessarily
Everything can be
janky.
free?
It can. It wouldn't last very long.
Why have we been paying for everything?
I don't know. Just walk up and take it. It's the Amazon Go store.
Yeah.
But
I
think that's kind of the issue with the Assassin's Creed situation. Not that, once again, developers are, I'm like cool with people trying to make their money in whatever way they see fit.
Get that money.
But I think that it does rub players the wrong way. And then, you have to kind of deal with the consequences of that.
There's definitely like social norms of like I'm old enough to remember when video game cheats were free. And now they're paid DLC. And like, so there's an expectation for what you expect to be free versus what you expect to have
Yeah,
to
I think that's
pay
a great
for.
point. Like what's normalized and what isn't.
Like everyone lost their minds when Horse Armor DLC was released in Oblivion.
$2.
But now, 20 years later.
so
however
normal
long it
and
is.
commonplace now.
Well, and it's actually flipped where now that's the desired preferred type of like paid add-on people want,
Just
like
cosmetic,
cosmetic add-ons, to that you can customize how your character looks.
Yeah.
The XP thing is funny. I'm a sucker for XP gaining, like bonuses in games. Like if there's a boost to that, I will work really hard for it. I think that goes back to like Final Fantasy VI. There was so much fun stuff you could do with that. But in Pokemon, they nerfed that in a funny way where it used to be in old games, you get like an XP boost and you give it to one Pokemon. And then you have it like walking around. You didn't have to battle it or anything, and it got like a boost. And then now you get that and it just affects all of them, right?
Yeah, well, they've kind of been tinkering with how they manage XP. So XP share was, I think, first introduced in Sun and Moon, and now it's like automated, which some people have issue with because they like to, maybe game the system and have just like one Pokemon in their party, get all the XP and kind of play around with it. But Game Freak kind of continuously says that their goal is to make the game more and more accessible and streamlined. And I think just having those systems automatically in place is just easier for players that may not be familiar with even the concept of having that in that game specifically.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like, just don't make it an item. Don't make it just make your XP system different. It's just funny.
You know the World of Warcraft example? When that game was brand new, it was still in beta testing. They built in an XP system to try to stop people from marathoning the game day in and day out, where after a certain amount of play, you would start earning half XP. And people complained so much and were so furious and hated it that they changed it to you earn double XP
That's really good.
when you logged in, and then it went down to just 100% XP. And there was no different. Nothing changed like
That's
under
really
the hood, but everyone loved the system. Like, I got all this rest XP built up.
Exactly. So it's just about like how you frame things to the player. And I think with like the Sony patent, some people are like, oh, you're like, they interpret that patent or that idea as you're nudging me towards paying for, microtransactions or spending money on this game, which technically they are, but there are other like factors at play there in terms of just wanting players to have more options to actually enjoy a game and get through the experience. Like it's crazy to think that like games are the one medium where like you're most likely not to finish it. Like people have games that they love, that it's their favorite, but they never actually like saw it all the way through. And I think this is just kind of providing an option for players to maybe have a little bit more of that experience or differentiate the experience.
Everything you're saying can be applied to print strategy guides. They're pay to win, they cost extra, they add enjoyment for a lot of people to play through the games, and also they're gone forever.
I think if you have an option, like if Sony does go with this, if there's an option maybe to turn it off, I think that would probably mitigate a lot of that, so that people can do it the way they want.
I can't get past what Sam said. Are strategy guides pay to win?
You like that?
It's a little pay to win,
true?
but you still have to work for it. Like you still got to do the thing.
it.
You know what's not pay to win?
What's that?
IGN guides.
That's
They're
true.
free.
Yes.
Free to win.
Come take our guides. Jana writes them.
Yes.
And then what's funny about the story you're telling about Blizzard and World of Warcraft is that after they learned that valuable lesson, Blizzard never pissed off its player base again.
It's true.
They did go on a good run.
They did have a good run. Getting back to this patent, Sony refers to the system in its patent as an in-game resource surfacing platform.
That's catchy.
It's good. Yeah, really.
I don't know what to think about this. This tears my mind in twain, Damon.
Wow, so dramatic.
It's such a
What year
specific
are we
game
in?
to mention resources too. Like that's in Monster Hunter, sure.
Yeah.
Like
It's not really in anything else that I can think of that Sony pushed in the past couple of years. Maybe God of War. I don't know.
on the one hand, when I was a young boy, video games cost $60.
Well, a lot of them did.
And now I am a grown man and video games still cost $60. So on the one hand, I'm not insensitive to the plight of the game developer. They can't, or there's this ceiling to charge more for games. So it's they got to figure it out. They got to make more money. But on the other hand, no one wants to think about their wallet and money when they're playing a video game. It's really that simple.
Remember how Wii games were $50?
Is that true? Mm-hmm. Well, video games were $50.
No,
they were.
No,
and then it was the 360 and PS3 generation that upped it to 60, but Nintendo stayed.
I think GameCube was 60 also.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
It was the generation before.
Really?
No way.
I remember it being
yeah.
50.
I don't think so.
GameCube was
There's
50,
no way
I'm
to know.
pretty sure.
Also,
Yes,
that
we don't have
computer is the
We don't
internet?
have the technology.
Majora's Mask was $80 or more. It was like 85.
I'm pretty
or
sure
something.
GameCube was 50 because what's shocking is that the GameCube games are still $50. It still costs that much to get Smash Bros.
What's it say?
I'm not joking.
What are you looking at? GeoCities?
How much were GameCube games when they first came out?
Wikipedia.
Nobody knows. You're right. Nobody does know.
It just says nobody knows. There's just a blank screen.
You found some forum thread and someone just said 200 smackaroos.
I can picture the games.
What is the modern day
I
conversion
can
for
picture
Smackaroos?
the GameStop price tags for GameCube, and now I am leaning that because I remember them being like $44.99.
I'm gonna say
after
50,
you got a used one.
But
because that's what I remember, and it was nearer in my memory than it is for.
This is so hard.
That makes no sense.
We also
Yes.
can't.
Your memory wasn't as developed as ours was. when
Yeah,
that
but you got
happened.
too much data in yours.
You
I
had the
think-
same amount of time between.
I've deleted that information.
No, because
in
the
order to
data-
store my
yeah, we all
children's.
know how that works.
The data has accumulated at the same time because GameCube till now is just a set amount of time that you experienced like we did.
Yeah, but I have
Yeah.
less, if I'm looking into my game history memory, there's less there. So I remember what's in there more.
Janet
There's
has less in her
there.
mind palace.
I do have less in my mind palace.
If you'd like to weigh in on this, you can write us at gamescoop@ign.com.
Or if anyone just knows the number.
I cannot find. I don't know what to search to find this information.
So,
but I think video games were $50 forever until the Xbox 360.
The
I
point,
agree.
the
with that.
point being that there's a $60 ceiling, seemingly
That's- yes.
on what you can get away until they
For a
get.
standard edition.
So they do. That's
Yes.
why there's collector's editions and digital upgrades and paid DLC, and that's why there's shitty AIs trying to get you to buy microtransactions.
Does it worry you that the oldest brain here agrees with you?
No, because it's we're on the two extremes.
Wise.
That's the thing.
Learned.
We got it all
Her
covered.
learned coworker agrees with her.
There's no other art on earth that it sticks its hand out when you're in the middle of it. No movie,
Hey.
no book.
I have a
It's insane.
If some Shakespeare books, you have a hard time understanding the plot here.
Yeah.
Would you like to purchase
Yeah, exactly.
an explainer?
Yeah, just yell out. Damon and I hosted a video this week about Tyrannosaurus
Tyrannosaurs. And a
sauropods.
new one that's been discovered.
And we delivered zero news or facts in it because we joked the whole time. So I recommend going checking that one out.
Yeah, that one.
There was cool dinosaur news. We just never got to it.
Yeah, we were too busy just being our hilarious selves.
It was pretty brutal.
I do want to say before we move
It's
on,
live.
I think the idea of game help being built into a console's ecosystem is interesting. There's
agree.
there's potential there, but if its primary purpose is
I think you should have to leave your game to get the darn help. I don't think that's right.
It's not right.
It's not right.
I'm not gonna say
It
it's
does
not
make
right.
me
I just
fear
think
that
it's interesting.
robots are
The
going
game
to take my
should
job,
challenge you.
but that's okay.
Yeah. But what about her job?
It's sort of like if
Hopefully
the,
by the time I retire, then the robots can take over.
if the game help is in the game, they made the game.
Yeah,
They make it really hard, and then they're
that's
but
another-
then they help
yeah,
you get
that's
past
another worry.
That's
the
a
hard
real
thing they made.
that's another
insane.
fear. They could make it intentionally really, really hard, betting that a lot of people will pay to make it easier.
That's what mobile games do now.
mean,
it's all
Balance
fake.
your game,
It's all fake.
make the puzzles fun, and then you're fine. You don't need to do all this stuff. Some people could look up help, but you shouldn't have to make a game around it.
All right, I can tell you're worked up. Let's move on.
Whoa.
But those from Bubble Bobble.
Classic Bubble Bobble. No, it was Shadow Dancer on Sega Genesis. Let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com, just like Andy, the expat from Germany, did. Says, just a quick question for the panel. Have you ever rage quit a game as a kid or as an adult? How bad was it? Did you just turn off the game, or was it a controller through the TV moment? And if so, which game was it?
Mine was when I was in college. It was an indie game called PID. I believe it was developed by Might and Delight, but I might be incorrect on that, so I'd have to double check. But it's this.
It's like a Newgrounds game.
No,
game?
it's really good. It's a platformer, and the main mechanic is that you have this kind of light beam that allows you to levitate and move around, and you can like cause enemies to levitate and get out of your way. So you're a pretty underpowered character navigating this world, and you're like this little boy. And it's a one-hit death situation unless you're wearing a vest, which I think can add you like 1 or 2 more hits.
Yeah, everybody knows vests do that.
Yes, as vests do. And but you don't get the vests that often, so it's like, okay. The game was pretty challenging, and I think it might have been the final boss, actually, of the game. And I was trying really hard, and I tried multiple times, and I got really close. But I always died. I like choked at the last second, and I got really mad. And I remember I was playing on my MacBook, because back then I gamed a lot on my MacBook. Like I just did Steam on my Mac because all I had was that and a PS3, even though I went to college only a few years ago. And I got really mad, and I slammed my hands on the desk, and the like desk kind of shook, and like the topper shook. Nothing fell, but my roommate came in and was like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's happening?" And I'm like, I don't know, I just had to describe them. The game beat me, and I just got really upset. And then I took a break, and I never came back to the game. My file is still there, and I think about it pretty regularly. Like, should I just go back and finish it and get it out of my system? But I refuse to go back. Great game, but I'm not good enough to finish it. So
you know what you needed?
I was literally
an in-game
thinking
resource surfacing platform.
Boy.
But then you would always feel, well, I mean, everyone feels differently about like what's cheating or what isn't, and who cares, because it's just how you enjoy the game. But it's like, but then I would always know that like I got so close and I didn't finish it all the way. But yeah, that's the only time I rage quit a game. I don't get too angry when I play games. I get pretty frustrated and need to take a break, but I don't usually rage quit. I would say that's my only one.
So 2 things. One is that when I step away from a game and come back, I beat it right away.
Yes.
That's a really funny thing. But I know you two worked on a game together.
Yes.
That I saw Damon rage quit several times.
That game broke me.
This is Darksiders 3?
Darksiders 3 broke something
and
inside.
And you were a freelancer at the time and writing a guide, which is really hard to write hard guides for,
It was my first full guide. So I was really like, okay, this is a big deal. This is like, dream job. Everything's on the line. If you can't do this, you can't do this job. That was like my internal monologue. Mm-hmm. And it was Thanksgiving
I had said that
break
several times, which I think was a little harsh.
It was so overdramatic. My brother can remember this story, but I was playing, it wasn't even one of the harder bosses. It was honestly like pretty simple. It was, I think it was Gluttony. No, it was Sloth. It wasn't even that hard. There was also a really hard, Gluttony was really hard. I found a corner you could hide in.
Yeah, that's the one with the big tentacle that he swipes around the room. That was probably the hardest.
It has the maw. It's a multi-step boss with different patterns. It's brutal. But the one that I got really frustrated on was just Sloth. Not even that difficult, but I just kept dying over and over again. It was Thanksgiving break. I was working really hard on it. I got in the code late and stuff, so I was kind of rushing through it, and I couldn't do it. And I got so frustrated. I took a break. Came back the next day, finally beat it. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. Okay, I made it through. And then the game said, thanks for playing the demo. So then I emailed Sam and I was like, hey, it said it was the demo and I don't know what's going on here. And then I'm like, well, at least I can enjoy Thanksgiving now. And then he emailed back and was like, oh yeah, like basically you have to put it in an extra code because the code that I was given was like a weird locked one. So when I unlocked it, I had to beat that boss again. It didn't save that part.
Terrible.
And but then I beat it the first time, so then that wasn't too bad.
And think how good you were at telling people how to beat it.
Yes,
it got better. I connected you two because you were having so much trouble, but I think you were.
But I was having trouble on a puzzle.
And that puzzle was tricky. It was like a very. They did teach you how to do it, but it was super multi-step. And I'm like, I'm glad Damon had the solutions.
Well, he was real mad, and he was in a capture bay, which is a place where we record videos when we're doing reviews and stuff.
1,000 degrees.
They're really hot.
It's warm in there, yeah.
And I could just hear expletives, from across the room and stuff. And I'd check in every once in a while, how's it going? It's going terrible.
And the worst
That's
part,
that's Damon when he's not.
the
on
worst
show
part about
anyway.
being stuck on a game before the game is out is there's no help out there, and no one else is playing it. So to try to get an outsider to help you, you have to first teach them the game and then have them try to.
I backseated that for a little bit.
Exactly. So you're like, you just got to pass what expertise you do have onto someone else in the hopes that they see it slightly differently. It can be pretty frustrating.
An underrated, or whatever you want to call it, like not really thought often on. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
When you're playing a game early, something that people don't think about is like there is a 3% chance that what you've encountered is a bug, but you don't know.
Yeah.
And that uncertainty is in the back of your head always.
Yeah.
You're like, is this what it's supposed to be, or
Yeah.
is something going wrong?
And
like,
you don't want to believe that you're just like not smart enough to figure out the puzzle. So you're like, it's broken. The game is just broken.
but you don't,
That's why I
and
can't
like
get past.
49 times out of 50, it's not broken.
Yeah.
But that doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, but then that one time it is, and then you're like,
That's, I mean,
And we
that does-
play
yeah.
games pre-release, and there's day one patches now, and so I'm a little bit less confident than I am normally. And sometimes I have to write a PR person or something and be like,
Yeah.
"This is how this is supposed to be."
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
The bug thing I did experience last, I think it was November. I was working on a game for review, and it turned out there was a bug that impeded my progress. You're supposed to level up, and I just hit a point where I was not leveling up anymore. I thought it was a little strange, and I reached out to the developers, and they confirmed that yes, it was a bug.
Nice. Only 2 weeks of work lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not rage quit a game that I can think of, but I quit games all the time, but I just kind of like sigh quit them. I just like I don't have a lot of free time to play a game anymore, and I've talked about this before. I guard my free time really preciously, and like if I am not enamored with a game and then I die 2 or 3 times, I'm like, yep.
Yep, that's usually my threshold.
I have had enough, and like I've played really, really hard games, and I'll struggle through really hard moments. But it's more about like my connection with the game, and like if I'm repeating the same section for the 3rd time, like there are other things I would rather be doing with my time right now than attempt number 4 on this. And I am usually pretty good about turning it off and never looking back. There are more games on this earth, great ones, than I could ever play through.
Yeah,
so
that's
not
true.
going to waste my time on that.
Also, Janet, you were correct. PID was developed by Might and Delight.
thanks.
But I've never heard of the game or the developer.
They also made Shelter, which is the cute little game where you're, I think, a badger, and you're like trying to protect your like family and everything. So that's one game I think it's more known for.
Did you rage quit that one?
I did not rage quit that one, but I do have it on Switch. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet.
Sam, you're usually pretty level-headed.
Yeah, I've never like rage quit a game.
Never, even when you were a kid.
No, I recently threw a controller more for emphasis.
Wow.
And it was for the end of Control, the part where you have to like go up the platforms and do the battles.
That part also, a lot of things in guides broke me a little bit, but I'm still here.
That part was really hard.
It was really hard.
And I did beat it eventually, but I was being mocked a little bit by coworkers at the time for not being able to beat it. So I was at home and I was playing that, and I had the cat on my lap, and I was playing, and I was like, God, I was yelling, and so he kind of got up, and I was like, and I threw the controller, and he chased it because it slid down the flat of our apartment, and he went right after it. It was really cute. That was the last time I threw a controller. But yeah, I don't know. Games like Justin's saying, which is like, I'm done with this game,
It's been a long time since I've thrown a controller. I don't think I've done it since I turned 30, which was a couple years ago now. But definitely when in my younger days, I would get angry and I would curse and throw the controller. And then one time when I was a kid playing an NES game, our NES was hooked up on our second TV, which was in my parents' bedroom. So I was always playing games in there. And one time, I don't remember what game I was playing, but I got so mad that I couldn't get past whatever I was trying to, that I kicked the wall and I kicked a hole in the wall. And
It just collapsed,
my parents were surprisingly chill about it. Like they got mad at me about plenty of other things, but this thing they were like, they didn't seem to be.
Maybe they kicked a hole in the same wall earlier,
Maybe,
and that's
they're
why
like,
it was already weak. They're like, that wasn't even new.
Yeah.
What's the thing that your parents got mad at you for doing?
Backing the car out through our garage door.
Yeah.
That's very Ferris Bueller of you.
That's a very normal.
Why didn't you think to open the door?
I also hit a garage.
I didn't even drink in high school, so I can't even blame it on that. It was early in the morning and I was going to work and I was tired.
The lights were on the garage.
I don't know. It was probably like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was on a Saturday or Sunday, and I was just.
You're just a dumb teen.
Well, teenagers are so tired in the morning. They're the last humans on earth that should be given responsibility at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
That is wrong. Let them sleep in.
Definitely, my dad was so mad.
I've never thrown a controller because they're too expensive. Like even as a kid, I'm
now
like,
they're
this breaks like we have nothing else. Like, there's only 2 here, and one of them is unofficial, so we can't be risking throwing it.
Also, I don't know what you would have done when we were a kid playing NES games.
That's what I was just going to say. What an unsatisfying controller.
You break the whole thing. You got to
where would you buy another Nintendo NES controller?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how you could do that back then.
I'll bring in, I have one in the original packaging. It's very strange to see.
I don't, because there are plenty of third-party controllers, but an official
And
NES
Nintendo did
controller.
sell them.
I just don't know. It's not like today where the DualShock 4 comes in a variety of colors and they're always available. I don't ever remember seeing
And
standalone
because the NES
controllers.
came with 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
And they hardly ever broke. Let's move on. Who is this? Jason from Peachtree City, Georgia. Says happy early Valentine's Day to all of y'all. With Sonic the Hedgehog making his way to the silver screen, which franchise, excluding those who have already had movies like Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, do you think would make for a good cinematic experience? And I would still maintain what I've always said is that none of them,
Yeah.
no video game should be a movie.
What about video games that the series kind of petered out, but they're like good story-driven games that maybe could use
Like Mass Effect?
like Mass Effect. Yeah. What do you think?
Maybe. But again, it's just like I don't think
It's got a good creature verse in it.
It does.
And good
It does.
planets, but like the main characters would not be interesting in that. So
it's like the whole enjoyment of video games comes from the interactivity aspect of it,
I don't mind if there's like a universe that I want to see more of. That would be a good reason. Mass Effect is one of those. I like its universe. I can't say that for many games. I'll tell you that.
What about you, Janet?
Maybe I don't know if you count as a franchise because I only had one game, but Control as a movie I think would be interesting. Other than that, I'm kind of with you. I'm not interested in video game movies, but as far as like interactivity, I think it'd be cool if there was like a theater version of these choice-driven games that are basically movies already. So like Late Shift is like a wonderful live-action game that you can get pretty much on every platform right now. And doing that like in a theater full of people where in real time you could select your choice and kind of see the percentages in real time, I think would be super fun.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Also, I don't want to see movies anymore. I just want to see like 8-part Netflix shows.
What?
No more movies, huh?
No, I like movies, but for this type of stuff, like the pulpy stuff, like
okay.
2.5 hours is like whatever. I want to go see like a good movie in the theaters. I don't really like going to see bad movies anymore. So I'll watch a bad 8-part series on Netflix. So I watch them all the time. They're mainly bad.
Justin, you went to the midnight showing of Sonic the Hedgehog last night.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine.
What about Star Wars Shadows of the Empire? That would make a good movie.
I didn't play that one.
Is that cheating?
I didn't play that one.
It's just the same things from all the other movies. Tough.
I don't think, I think if you were to make a game off a movie, it should probably, paradoxically, not be like a really story-heavy game. I said it backwards. If you were to make a movie based off a game. If you pick a really, really story-heavy game, people are only going to be disappointed and mad at the streamlining and the elements of it that have to be cut out and the dumbing down that has to happen. Like a Mass Effect movie, can you imagine, like, how do they do that in 2 hours? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, blah, there's these Mass Effect relays, and they were made by an ancient race, and they connect these different star systems together, and there's a genophage, and like, okay, now the movie's over. Like, it's only going to make people mad for what's not in there.
It could be a news story. It doesn't have to be the same
like,
story.
so I
but
don't,
still, there's just a lot.
I know, I don't know.
It's a story that's told over dozens of hours, whereas a movie is,
So I have not
Those
seen,
are called books. They get adapted to movies all the time.
I haven't
not
seen
always very well.
the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but my understanding is that it's a good kids movie and a good adaptation of, like, it's got funny jokes, it's lighthearted, like that feels like the right approach to take, where like a movie is contextualizing and adding new story to something that really probably didn't have it to begin with.
Yeah.
Let me also bring up my familiar rant, which I think games are terrible at telling stories and movies are really good at telling stories. So again, if something's set in a good universe and there might be a good story to be told in it, I'd rather watch a movie of it or watch a TV series or something than play a video game usually.
Jason from Peachtree City, Georgia, has a second question. Of these three
That's
exclusives,
not allowed.
You can save it for next week.
Of these three exclusives, look, we're light on news this week. We need the second question for padding. Of these three exclusives, which do you think would gross the most money in the box office? Gears of War, Star Fox, or Uncharted?
Uncharted.
Yeah, I would guess Uncharted.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to see a Star Fox movie.
No.
Zero Fox given. I think
Fox is washed.
what would it take?
I mean, Gears of War is like, it's just an action military movie.
I would love to see the
I
big
could see that
sequel,
happen.
though.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
But Uncharted, it's already based on
Yeah.
a movie.
What if Wes Anderson made the Star Fox movie?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm listening.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
He kind of already did. The Fantastic Mr. Star Fox. Huh?
The Fantastic Mr. Star Fox.
I'd only watch that if it was in one of those terrible 4D movie theaters where stuff happens to you.
Oh, we're getting one of those on Van Ness.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the stuff?
Like you might get water sprayed on your face.
Spritz of water, or like if
There's
rats.
no point in anybody's life that they want water sprayed on their face.
Let me tell you,
I disagree.
Sam,
I
if you
miss
remember,
my face constantly because my skin gets
Yeah,
oily.
you do it.
You said there's no point in which anyone.
Where someone gets sprayed in the face.
Oh, okay. I see what you. Yeah, it's not. It needs to be self-inflicted.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is one of those times.
Sam, imagine in the film Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, when Rey and Kylo are having their lightsaber battle on the wrecked Death Star and the waves are crashing over them. If you felt a slight mist happening on your face, wouldn't you feel like you were a little bit more
super
there?
subtle.
What about in when Luke's drinking the blue milk and they just spray blue milk all over you from a big monster teat
down his goatee.
When he squeezes the teat of that alien, and you feel like
sprays blue milk all over you.
Sure,
All right.
sure.
So what do you wear to these theaters? Trash bags? Is it like Gallagher?
I think you're thinking it's a lot more intensive than it is. It's
Have
not
you
like
been?
buckets.
It's
I
not
have
like a
been.
ride. It's not like Splash Mountain.
What did you get sprayed with?
So I didn't do a full movie, but I did do like the little ones they have at like Universal Studio has one with I think Shrek or something, and then I went to another one as a kid that was SpongeBob based, and when they made like the Krabby Patties, you could smell the pickles like in the audience, and they had like other stuff like that. They're kind of uncomfortable, but they're like a good kind of bad.
Kind of uncomfortable.
'cause it'll-
IGN.com.
Exactly, kind of uncomfortable. It'll like slightly like punch you in the back, and like you'll feel like if there's
No, there's a rumble pack.
If there's it's kind of like that. It's like so it's kind of
you're
janky
getting
but
it.
kind of interesting. Like if something runs by your feet, like you'll feel they have like these little tassels that'll blow, and you'll like feel like creeped out and stuff. So yeah, super immersive.
What are we talking about?
You're gonna love it. Let's move on. This is Bryant Cornwell in Salem, Oregon. Doesn't that sound like a spooky place?
Huzzah.
Love listening to the podcast. The witty banter and inside jokes are my favorite. My friends and I are all gamers, and we had an idea to get together on a Saturday and try to play through a game together front to back.
Fun.
Maybe something that's co-op or just controller swapping. Do you guys have a recommendation for a game that could be completed in a day, but is still challenging?
There's only one.
Which one?
Super Mario World.
Yeah. Or I was gonna. Yeah. That's a good one.
That's the only one.
It's the only one. And you do it to try to get all the 96 stars.
Exits. Yeah.
Yes, you got to play Groovy and Tubular and Far Out.
I would say
That's pretty good. Huh?
One of those-
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. You can do that in a day. It's been a long time since
If you
I played.
know it well. If you don't know it well, you're not getting through it in a day.
You're not getting through that water temple.
My cousins.
There's going to be a missing key no matter what you do. One key. You're going to be one key short.
Bring a guide.
My cousins and I did that, and they knew the game. I was in high school at the time, and they knew the game better than I did. And I fell asleep. We did it overnight. We didn't do it. We were like, let's stay up all night, beat the whole game. And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and they were like 3 dungeons later. It was like I traveled through time. It was crazy.
We got through most of Mario 64 on a challenge like that in the office. Right?
Yeah, we did.
Not in a day, though.
well,
But like in
We were
an
trying to do it
hour
in
a
a
day.
week,
in a couple days.
Yeah. I was going to recommend Shadow of the Colossus.
Cute.
That's like
Janet hates that game.
I do.
That's true. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I thought it looks it's
Get out.
it's dusty and boring, and it doesn't control well.
It's dusty.
Dusty
you're in a
and
desert.
boring, and they doesn't let me forget it for a second. It's dusty.
It's arid area.
I've done this a couple times with friends. I wouldn't say it's super manageable to do, but here are my recommendations based on my own experience doing it. I did that with Resident Evil 7. I beat it in a day with a friend. We did have to stay up pretty late into the night, and we started decently early in the day because I think the how long to beat in that is like at least 9 hours or something, maybe more. We did that obviously controller swap. I did it with Detroit Become Human on my own. That took me a really long time. I did it
You
with
just did that in one sitting?
yeah, I mean, I took like breaks a little bit during the day. Like I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go eat and then come back. But yeah, I started the game in the beginning of the day and I stayed up all night. I stayed up till like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Was this
playing it.
because you had to like review it or something?
No, I was teaching at the time, but also doing like freelance journalism on the side. And we had a 3-day weekend, and I'm like, if I don't beat it like in this big chunk, I'm not really gonna have time to like do my YouTube videos and all the other stuff I want to do. And then also like a little bit because my brother's like, there's no way you're gonna finish that all today. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it to finish it. So it was a little bit of like machismo there.
Spite.
Yeah, and then the last one that I did was it's that horror game, Choose Your Own Adventure. I don't think it's that good of a game, but a lot of
Until
people are like
Dawn?
Until Dawn. Yes,
I said it first.
Yes, You won 20 questions. Until Dawn, I played that literally Until Dawn from the start of the night until like the morning.
Until dawn?
Until dawn. We really did play it until dawn. I just played it just to finish it. I wasn't that into it. I think you can do it also.
Scary games for this stuff.
Life is Strange, I think, is a good one to do that with as well. I feel like you can do that in a day. Those are my recommendations.
Really action-packed, Janet.
Oh yeah, that one's not challenging. So if you want like a challenging game, which the question did mention, I would go with Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, that's a
Or
good
2.
suggestion.
Even 2, yeah. You can definitely get through at least one of the campaigns in a full day. I was also going to recommend Inside, a game I've championed
Oh yeah, that's a really
That's
good
too
one.
short.
many times, but it is only like 3 or 4 hours.
But I do think it fits the challenging quantifier. So
Sometimes I have like, groups of guests staying with us for too long, like 2 to 4 people or something, and I'll be like, I'm just going to turn on the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Just leave them there for the day. They might go out and get some beers. They might figure out their own meal, and that's a nice break for me. It works every time.
Good.
Also Donkey Kong Country, but here's the thing. Nobody's ever beaten that game.
Yeah. The minecarts
That's true.
are too hard for casuals.
It sucks so bad. Now when you go back to it, it's just ridiculous rote memory stuff.
All right, we've got one more email, and I think this is going to be a good one. If you're thinking to yourself, this is a particularly groovy track, that's because it's another one from Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah, of course it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't understand how the bass is so low on that.
Dude, she was doing crazy things with that
stuff.
sound chip.
Good stuff.
This is Steven Gettle. It says GameScoop 562 had a great segment by Sam about fake game names. I applaud his creative writing chops.
That was my degree.
It's hard to come up with game names that sound plausible and are funny, especially if you want players to successfully choose the fake one out of some real ones with real silly names. I recently did some writing like this and published it on a quiz website called Sporkle.com,
Wait a second.
which I have up.
Let's check in with Sporkle.
Sporkle.com is this quiz website where you can make your own quizzes. And there's lots of very intrusive ads that keep popping up. But he said, you might enjoy reminiscing with the weird games of 2018 with this quiz that he made. So we're going to play the quiz right now.
The weird games of 2018.
Thanks for making us a quiz. I think that's a really good use of your time.
The quiz is called Some of These Video Games Are Made Up, but Which Ones?
I love this. This is great.
So there's 10 rounds, and we're being timed. We only have 5 minutes.
Let's go.
So 3 of these games were actually released, but which one is totally made up? Another Lost Phone, Laura's Story,
Real.
Salad Shooter, War and Peas, Bunny Must Die, Chelsea and the Seven Devils, or Johnny Turbo's Arcade Bad Dudes. Well,
The last one came
we're never
out.
going to be fooled by that one.
I think
Johnny Turbo's real. Another Lost Phone is real.
The first one's real and the last one's real.
Salad Shooter, War and Peas.
I think that's the fake one.
So that's interesting because that sounds like Plants vs. Zombies or like Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom, which leads me to believe that it's a parody of one of those.
Salad Shooter's fake.
And I think Bunny Must Die, that sounds like a real game to me. Okay, I think we got it right. The feedback system's not great, but I think we got that.
we-
Right.
Just
Maybe-
say
Close enough.
we got it right
Yeah.
for every one of them.
What's that now?
Just say we got it right.
I'm really stressed out by this timer.
Here we go.
Very concerned
We're
there
1
for a
minute, we're
second,
1 minute down
We're
already.
like, cheat?
Let's go.
Eric Dumpster Bear, Dumpster Fire Redux, Baffle, Breaks Are for Losers, Don't Starve Megapack, I'm the Best at What I Do, Humble Edition. So Don't Starve is real.
Humble Edition's
Epic
real.
Dumpster Bear seems very fake.
Baffle, Breaks Are for Losers, you think is real?
Yeah.
And then I'm the Best at What I Do, Humble Edition. Is that one 2 on the nose?
I don't know.
Sam, Janet,
I'm gonna go with not the bear one, the one you mentioned. I think is the
What's,
one.
what's the bear one again?
Epic Dumpster Bear, Dumpster Fire Redux.
Oh, it's really long.
Can't be an
it's
epic
gotta be that
dumpster
one.
bear.
No, it's
That's
that
not.
one.
It's got to be that
I mean,
one.
that sounds like a fake, funny indie name.
Okay,
but let's go with it.
It was right. Okay.
Sure.
Only round 3.5 minutes left. Octocopter, Double or Squids. I'm the Best at What I Do, Toothbrushing Edition. Now I get it. Animated Jigsaws, Beautiful Japanese Scenery. I know that one's real. Firefighters, Airport Fire Department.
That's real too.
So I'm the Best at What I Do. Mine must be a series. Animated Jigsaws is real, and Firefighters is real.
Yeah.
No. It's the Toothbrush Edition that's a joke because Humble Edition, we know what that means, and Toothbrush Edition is a joke.
Think so?
I don't know.
All right.
You don't think it's like a kids series?
I don't know what it is. Why would there be a Humble Edition of the kids series?
Are we choosing Octocopter?
They're also all Switch games, which is like hard mode because the console's eShop library is ridiculous.
You can go for Octo.
Octo?
Sure.
Yeah. The colors light up when you select something and I don't know what's right or wrong.
Oh, wait, no, we've been getting them wrong. It says we only have 1 out of 10. I don't understand how this works. Stephen Gettle, this website, Sporkle, is a bunch of bullshit. But we've got 2.5 minutes.
Janet, you're going to have to censor that.
We have 2.5 minutes left in
It's
our
not gonna get
quiz.
censored.
South Park, The Fractured But Whole is real. Regalia of Minute Monarchs is real. Burly Minute C is real, which means giraffes versus the modernization of Japan is fake.
So
I wish that
make
was
sure
real.
you know what it looks like when you choose it, and it gives you.
It was red. The green when they click.
You're seeing colors?
No, sorry. Yeah, when they turn green, that's when we got it right.
I'm not seeing any colors.
You're gonna have to see your optometrist. for
Bouncy Bob.
Okay.
Why don't we
think that's
talk
real.
anymore? Emily wants to play too, or Super Daryl Deluxe.
that. I believe the first 1 and 3 are real, correct?
I think Super Daryl's real.
Super Daryl's real.
And maybe the second one.
So the second one would be fake.
Emily.
Why
won-
don't we talk anymore?
Why don't we talk anymore? Because Emily wants to play. I think
So-
there was a game like that, like a horror game.
You're gonna see a color here, Justin?
Yeah.
All right.
It's correct.
I saw no color there. Honestly. A minute 30 left.
Oh, I want to see now.
We're on round 6. Full contact bird watching, Hello Kitty cruisers, The Little Ball That Could, or Penny Punching Princess. That one's real.
Hello
That's
Kitty's
it.
definitely real. It's a racing game.
Hello Kitty
Yeah.
cruisers and Penny Punching Princess are real. So The Little Ball That Could,
It's the
or
full contact bird watching. That's
Yeah.
a fake.
okay, look at this, Sam. Tell me if you see something happen.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a little outline of green.
It's a little outline of green. Question 7 with a minute left. Super Amazeballs, Super Rocket Shootout, Spinning Wheels, Give Me All the Feels, or Proficient Paddles. I think it's Spinning Wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good name, though.
Yeah. That's fake.
Okay, we got that one right. I Hope, that's I, comma, Hope. A Robot Named Fight, Sir Eats a Lot, Bright Purple Lights Are Ruining Ted's Sleep.
Sir Eats a Lot is real.
Wasn't
So-
Sir Eats a Lot? Okay, it was.
So is A Robot
Yeah.
Named Fight.
I'm like 99% sure.
It's got to be bright purple lights are ruining Ted's sleep.
Okay, right? Let's pick that one.
Yeah.
Got that right. 40 seconds to Break for Sis Battle, Raining Coins, Bullet Witch, Fortune Cookie Writer.
Break Forces Battle is real and it's really good.
So is Bullet Witch.
Bullet Witch is real. So
Raining Coins or Fortune Cookie Writer? Surely Fortune Cookie Writer.
I don't know.
But maybe that's that's so
heard-
absurd that like it's real.
I'm leaning on the
Raining
not the
Coins is a
Fortune.
great name.
I think it's raining coins.
Raining Coins is my vote.
Oh, it was.
Oh, we got that one
Oh, it
wrong.
was the cookie one?
Last question, 15 seconds. Rememoried, Dusty Raging Fist, It's Spring Again, or Popcorn Chicken Extra Butter Edition?
It's not rememoried.
Okay, not
I
Popcorn
don't
Chicken.
think.
Dusty Raging Fist?
Sure.
Nope.
Damn, maybe it was remembered.
Popcorn chicken. Why did we think?
Well,
it's
we
not
got
popcorn
60%,
chicken?
6
so
out of
now
10.
it should show which ones were all fake if you can see all the results, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a well-designed website.
Okay. Ease up on Quabbly.
Whoever made Sporkle is just crying
Sporkle.
right now.
And that is the last time I hope to ever see the website Sporkle. I'm closing the window. That's
I
how
know.
much I
I
closed.
still like people to send us quizzes though.
Well, yeah, but send us quizzes that you make,
You can make your own quiz on BuzzFeed.
not on totally janky
And it's the UI is pretty good.
websites. And that brings us to video game 20 questions.
Is it Bubsy?
No, it's something on Sega Genesis that
It's not going. Bubsy. Bubsy.
should be going buzzing. Our suggestion this week comes from Matt Ford from an undisclosed location. Let the questioning begin.
Is this pre 2000?
No.
Bubsy.
Is this post 2010?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a game on.
Moderny.
Is this game on the Nintendo Switch? Available on the Nintendo Switch?
No.
Is this a console exclusive?
Yes.
PS.
A PlayStation exclusive?
Or could it still be 3 if it's after 2010?
I believe so.
Yeah, I just want to know if
Yeah.
it's on a PlayStation system.
No. That's 5.
Is it an Xbox exclusive?
No.
Okay.
Could be Wii U. Could be handheld.
Yep.
Is this a handheld game?
It appeared on a handheld.
You said it's
System.
a console exclusive.
Yeah, I don't think of handhelds as home consoles.
Well, we used all of our questions to figure this out.
Wait,
So we
I,
just
don't
asked
understand,
if
I don't understand what the confusion is here. To me, we already knew it was a console exclusive. So to say, oh, it appeared on a handheld, it's like that's the only thing it's on is that handheld.
no, because it could be get a reissue later on a handheld.
I kind of know what you mean, but I wish we had said platform exclusive instead. But then if that's the case, I feel like it would maybe be like a Wii U game that was also on the 3DS because there were a lot of those.
That it's not a console exclusive.
Not in my opinion, no.
Well, I think
But
we call
I think
things
based-
console exclusives like Resident Evil 4 because later it came to other systems.
Oh, I wouldn't call that.
Is that what you would say?
I wouldn't call that a console exclusive.
It was a console exclusive. It literally was for a time.
There you go. Was this a console exclusive? Yes. That's what he's saying.
So, okay, all right. Was this game released? I mean, it's Vita or 3DS, right? Did this game appear on the Vita?
No.
So it has to be 3DS.
I don't know.
Is
Does
this a
it?
3DS
Maybe,
game?
maybe I'm
It's
wrong.
not.
What's up?
It's not a 3DS game either.
Well, he said it appeared on it, so I'm thinking it was like a port.
Can you play this on 3DS?
Yes.
Okay. So we're not going to get this one.
Could be Luigi's Mansion.
Well, yeah, it could be a lot of things. Luigi's Mansion.
I think we need to figure out what it was originally released on.
It was.
Because I don't think it was. Was it simultaneously released? Is that even like a thing where it would come out on a exactly? So it has to be like a port of some sort.
2 3DS after. I mean, that's like the Donkey Kong Country stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe.
But it came out after 2010.
that's what I'm thinking. So then, would it be a Wii U game? Should we ask if it's a Wii U game?
I mean, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze came out after 2010.
Did it come out on the 3DS?
Yeah.
Came out on the Switch.
Yeah, so that one wouldn't work.
I don't know where to go with this. Is this did Nintendo publish this?
Yes. That's 10.
Was this a Wii U game?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking it might be maybe like Yoshi's
It's Yoshi
Crafted
or
World
the
something?
first Donkey Kong.
Should we just narrow it down between?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no, sorry, that wasn't on Wii U.
It could be the first Donkey. You're right.
That's
'cause
not on Wii U
Tropical-
though. That's on Wii.
Really?
Yeah.
Plus Tropical Freeze is on Switch, so then it would have failed that question.
No, the first Donkey Kong.
Is this a platformer?
There is platforming in it.
Okay, so I feel like it wouldn't be Yoshi or Donkey Kong because those are both very clearly platform games to me.
I have no memory of Donkey Kong Country Returns.
It's so good. I played it super recently.
That
game was hard.
On the Wii?
I played it on the 3DS.
This is on Wii U.
It was on.
huh?
It was on Wii U. It was on 3DS.
So
it's not exactly a platformer, but there is jumping.
It's, I mean, there's Xenoblade, there's Yoshi,
Yeah, but I think Yoshi's
there's
a platformer.
Kirby.
I think Kirby's pretty clear.
No, but that was also a Wii. Oh, but there was the drawing Kirby game,
Oh,
Canvas Curse. No,
That was on
the sequel.
DS.
No, there's a sequel on Wii U.
Rainbow something?
Epic Yarn or Yarn? Isn't that?
No, it's after that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we ask if it's a playable fighter in Smash Brothers? I mean, is that too obvious?
I think we can.
Should we just get the universe and then get it from there? You know, if is this part of the extended Mario universe, which includes Donkey Kong and Wario? Every character that's ever been in Mario games.
Can you rephrase your question?
Does this have characters that have appeared in the Super Mario Brothers series?
Yes.
So maybe it's a Mario Party.
None of them are on both.
Maybe, but I feel like that's definitely not a platformer. Like Damon's hesitation on the platformer questions throwing me off. Because he said no, but had hesitation as if there is jumping. And technically you do jump in Mario Party, but I don't know anyone that would say like, oh, Mario Party's kind of a platformer because you jump. I feel like it's very clearly a party.
I think you just did a
Board game.
platforming sections in it.
You can have platformers where you don't jump. Bionic Commando. Or the Dandara.
Are there examples of that you can think of that would apply here that are also in the Mario?
There's not that many games that moved from Wii U that are in the Mario that have Mario characters in them.
Yeah, I know. We should be able to get it.
I think it's Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. How have we not?
Because it's also on Switch. And Justin asked, is it available
Switch?
on Switch? Yes, right? It is
Yep.
on Switch, right?
Yep.
All right.
Could it?
Dumb.
How
put it.
sure are you that Donkey Kong Country Returns is on the Wii? Super sure? Like completely sure?
I don't remember.
It could be. What if it's on Wii U, like Virtual Console? Also,
It was
or
on
something?
Wii. Yeah, because the Wii U had just had such a lame lineup. It never even had that.
Was this game developed in the United States?
No.
It's not Donkey Kong Country.
Or
A lot of
there
games.
there was not that many at the time.
Are we at 14?
It's not bad.
Not exactly a platformer.
Pikmin.
Yeah, I can't think of...
I feel like that's good. That's a good guess.
There is definitely platforming in the game.
It's got,
With Mario characters, huh? Or
Was-
at least one.
Was there a Wario?
Wait, could it just be like? Wait, no. Could it just be like? No, because Smash Bros is also on Switch, so it wouldn't be that. That wouldn't work.
Could be Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and for 3DS.
Yeah, those are different games, but I don't think Damon knows that.
Well, sort of. Like, it's actually... I can't think of another analog. Like, they have different stages, but like it's this in different single player modes, but then it's the same character lineup. I don't know. They're weird. I don't know how to count those.
Yeah,
I
could be
consider that the same game, but I don't know.
That's a pretty good answer.
I did buy it twice.
I also bought it twice. Actually, I think I bought it a couple times.
They had different challenge boards.
Does this have characters from other Nintendo games in it? Other than the Mario universe?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's Smash Brothers.
Sure does.
But which one is it? Because he said it came to 3DS.
Yeah, I think the opening questions of this 20 questions got a little botched.
So it's Smash Brothers for Wii U or 3DS. So we just have to ask.
You guys got this. Yes, you just have to get some new questions in the mix.
What? Okay.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It's like, was
this game released on a cartridge that you could put into a game console?
We already know that, right?
Yes.
How do we know that? No, because if it's yes, then that means it's Super Smash Brothers for 3DS.
No, but you
because
didn't ask it in that way. You made it so he could just say yes eventually, because it was in the history of the world. It was released as a. But I guess we can just.
Oh,
I don't understand what's like this. The Wii U one. The answer is no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you mean.
How is it not Super Smash Brothers for 3DS?
Okay.
I mean, I'm just like, how did I screw it up?
Have we mentioned this game already?
No.
What? So it turns out we botched the beginning of this and also the middle and also the bit towards
Actually,
the end.
far from making me upset, I find this incredibly freeing because now it's like, oh, we're just screwing up. We just have it completely wrong.
Is it Mario Kart?
That's a good guess.
But none of them were
Did
ported
that
over.
ever go to 3DS?
Not from Wii U to 3DS. They're different games.
You're right.
Are we wrong about the 3DS thing? And we're just no, because we asked the Switch question, right?
Yeah, it's not on.
So
it's not available on Switch.
So it's not 8 because that's the one that moved.
Correct.
Yeah.
But 7 was no. 7 wasn't on the Wii U.
Nintendo published it. It's got a bunch of characters in it from a bunch of different games, or at least Mario games and other games. Maybe is it the
Well, maybe it is Mario Party. So there's jumping in it.
no? Because I don't remember that getting ported. It could be or and then WarioWare.
It's all thinking of WarioWare games.
There's nothing on the Wii
it's
U.
a
There's
very
only
unusual-
Wario, whatever it was called. That wasn't really a WarioWare game.
The Mario Party games and the Mario Kart games are separate games from Wii U to handheld.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was
Or are they?
Maybe it's a downloadable game.
No, because he said it's on a cartridge, so it has to be also
Yeah,
have a physical release.
What are we missing here? This is crazy.
Yeah, I feel.
Do you have any guesses on the genre? Like, I don't have any. I just don't have an idea what.
I mean, an
that would be.
ensemble Nintendo.
Is it a multiplayer game like that?
Maybe, but I don't know if that would help that much.
Did Nintendo Land come to 3DS?
No,
that would have been cool.
Is there multiplayer in this?
Yes.
So, man, you got us stumped, Damon.
Just like the Resistance in Star Wars, you have everything you need.
Well, that's ominous.
It's a Nintendo published game on Wii U and 3DS with lots of different Nintendo characters in it.
Is there anything in your mind, Palace?
There is
Sam?
platforming in the game.
That's not Smash Brothers.
You guys got to keep this going.
Okay.
I've never seen a swerve in 20 Questions history bigger than the swerve of it not being Super Smash Brothers, which meets every single criteria, including light platforming.
Yeah, it's almost like there could only be one other game it could be.
What does that mean? You can't say stuff like that when you know what the answer.
I'm trying to help.
And especially because it's a game we haven't named yet.
Yeah,
I
I know.
We've named
But it is
lot
a
of things
game
already.
that we talk about fairly frequently with affection. Okay.
Is it maybe just one of like the Mario like games that has like a multiplayer element that was on both? I just don't know which one was released across both of those.
Yeah, is it but it can't be like a 2D Mario platformer because that's just blatantly a Mario platformer.
That's true too. Yeah.
What do we all play together?
I mean, we've just been so busy lately that we really haven't played.
Nidhogg.
Nidhogg's real good, but that's not this game. And that is on Switch, so that would have failed that question.
I don't know. I don't have it.
Oh.
It's just
Wait, how many questions do you have?
You have one question.
We have one left and again.
Yeah.
does this game? Should we ask like if it's like is this Is this a later game in a series? Like, did the series exist before this game?
No.
Okay, so it's the
so it's like a one-off.
first. Came to Wii U, and then they put it on other stuff.
Oh.
So it's Miitomo or
No,
something.
it's NES Remix.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, and then it came as a collection to 3DS.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was that on Wii U first?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is it NES Remix?
Yes.
Yeah.
20 questions.
So it was a downloadable game. The cartridge thing threw me off.
Cartridge when it came to 3DS. Yeah, but downloadable on Wii U.
Yeah.
You guys got there.
Nailed it.
I'm never talking
And you guys
about
didn't
that
pick up
game.
on my hint. I said, you just got to get some more questions in the mix.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good.
okay.
I'm gonna start really.
I can really appreciate
thinking
that
about
now.
the hints. Questions.
When are you guys talking about that collection? I'm not privy to those conversations. You're like, we're always talking. I'm like, I'll never
Talk
mention
about, well, we're always like, man, NES Remix was awesome.
Yeah,
Why isn't it on Switch?
I frequently
I knew
lament
I need to eavesdrop more. That's what I learned from
It's
this.
also playing in the lobby at all times.
It is.
Well,
Well, now
that
we
wasn't the
switched
hint.
over
It wasn't.
to-
Is it always
Nick's
playing in
is
the
fine
lobby?
there.
yeah.
It's all the time. Talking about it all the time might be a stretch, but we do
I
lament
said all the time.
that there's not an SNES remix.
Yeah.
Wow.
Make
was
SNES
brutal.
remix, you cowards.
Yeah. Or
I
just
I
bring
reviewed
them-
that.
Yeah.
I 100%.
Did you review 2? NES Remix 2?
I can't remember.
Yeah. No
What'd you give it?
NES Remix.
Should have given it an 11 out of 10.
If I were to
Or
score it
off the
now, I
charts.
would have given it above an 8.5, but I can't remember what I give it.
It is so good. It does such a good job of like recontextualizing and having fun
pinball level
with
sucks.
these old classic levels and doing weird stuff with it.
Yeah. There is platform.
And there is platform. I was just thinking that. Yep, there is platforming.
Nicely job, everybody. Thank you for the suggestion. Matt Ford, for you all listeners and viewers out there, have your own video game 20 questions, suggestions, or just questions for us, email them to me at gamescoop@ign.com. That is all the scoops we have for you this week. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Tayo. My name is Damon. This is IGN Gamescoop, and we're out.